Hey, what to do? What the business is?
It is another week in the books with the On Deck TV show. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal underscore Brown if you're looking for me.
Absolutely, man. And I am Spike Lou on them same social sites. Holla at your boy AB. How you feeling out there?
Slow motion, man. It is trying to get chilly on my little 6 a.m. runs. I gotta wear pants
Mm,
now. And I'm like,
that
hold
little
on, man.
crisp, little crisp was out this morning,
Just a
and
little
it was
bit.
just a little. You can feel it in the air, Benny Siegel style. I agree with you. I said, man, look at the little crisp outside. It's dark. I was up at 6:32. It was still kind of dark. You still getting that?
What
Yeah, man.
what was Stone Mountain talking about though? I seen you was up at Stone Mountain.
Yeah, it was good, man. I needed to get back into the habit of doing that. Went dolo, took some time,
Hmm.
sit up there, chill, meditated. But it was dope. People was outside. I'm gonna do it next Saturday. Then I'm gonna play pickleball. Get into the pickleball. Have you
Shout out.
started this yet?
Not yet, but I'm down though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do pickleball. I'll hit you up if you back in town.
That's a 10-4, man. Let's get to these topics.
Some interesting shit out here.
It is, man. Listen, Dr. Umar had some very interesting words for hip hop and how it has or hasn't been beneficial to the black community. We'll talk about that. Dame Dash's 1/3 of the Rockefeller shares go up for auction this week. We're gonna play a little game of over under on how much we think it's gonna go for. And Complex dropped another ATL related list. This time it was groups. We'll discuss if they got this one right, if they did a better job than the top 50 rappers. But first, your man Ebro from Hot 97 slash Apple Music was on his Apple Music show. And he said that there are simply too many artists out right now. You guys wanted to get rid of the middleman. You guys wanted to get rid of the gatekeepers. It happened. And now there's too many artists, too much stuff to listen to. We need to peel it back. You be careful what you wish for, blah, 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 blah. Do you agree with Ebro that the gatekeepers or lack of has ruined the game and that there are just too many artists out at one time?
No, this is get off my line-ish. This is old man-ish. I see what he's saying. There are a shit ton of artists, but this isn't the same hip hop that he grew up in, that we grew up in, where you would catapult that one popular artist to the top and everybody knows him. People just gravitate to their own lanes now. I can bring up a person that motherfuckers may not listen to or know because they just don't want to hear that. Like I tell people about Belly Gang Kush, and I could see why people don't want to listen to it. But I also like I would be disappointed if that wasn't out there. Other people may
Mm.
not feel the same. They take want me to listen to JID or Kenny Mason or people like that are talented, but I just don't want to hear that. So I think now the benefit of having that many artists is you get to fine tune really what you want to hear instead of being forced to hear Tupac or to hear Biggie because it's on the radio, to hear Drake, to hear these things, these popular eras of people. Well, everybody listens to them just because they're on the radio. Now you got to do some research. You got to find some stuff. You got to cultivate your own like little style and playlist. We talk about Larry June a lot. I love Larry June. It's niggas that hate Larry June and don't like that style. So I think that there's enough artists for everybody to get what they're looking for in hip hop now. And we've been asking for that, and I don't see that as an issue. That's a good thing. That's how it's one of the biggest genres in the world.
Yeah, I don't listen. Is there a lot of music? Absolutely. But there's also a lot of the other distractions coming from other places that I think people lump into music. There's podcasts, there's streaming apps. I can watch a movie on my phone right now in 4K on HBO Max and fill in the blank of any other of the damn 15 streaming apps that I got. So there's mad distractions, dude. It's not just music. And no one is saying there's too much television. No one is saying there's too
Thanks.
many books. No one is saying stop saying there's too much hip. That doesn't make any sense, bro. Like there's not it'd be one thing if everybody knew that came out was in the same lane. And we all know that's not the case. Some people are from over this side of the country. Some people are on that side of the country. Some people are talking about this. Some people are talking about that. Some people sing. Some people backpack. Some people are lyrical. Some people are party. Some people stop. You can't have enough variation. This is a good thing. And I don't know why people like to try to use this as a negative. You can't have too much of a good thing. I'm sorry. So whereas I'm listening to, I can go to Apple Music on Friday morning, click on new releases. and see who came out. And I see 38 Special. Let me download that. I see Shay Noir. Let me download that. I see something else over here. Somebody got a new single. Let me download that. I'm a kid in the candy store. I don't know what these niggas talking about. And I pluck the things that I want to hear and I skip over the shit that I don't. It's very simple. It's a little swipe left, swipe right, and I'm good. I don't have a problem with that. What would suck if I pulled up my shit every Friday and there wasn't shit for me to download and there wasn't nothing new. Click on R&B. Click on R&B on Fridays, dude. It'd be the same shit from last week.
Right.
That and
No,
I'm looking like, damn,
yeah.
all right. No new vibes.
Streaming, yep, streaming would suck, like you said, if they only put up the stuff that they wanted us to hear. That would suck. It's dope that artists have the ability to just throw their shit up on the stream and we can come across it, just like with mixtapes and shit. We can
Mm-hmm.
come across it and be like, damn, I ain't nobody told me about this. I ain't know about this. That's dope. And I like Ebro, especially I think he's a legend in this field, but this is a really arrogant statement. And what I mean by it being arrogant, he's supposed to know or feel like he's supposed to know the hot up and coming acts or if it's a hot act altogether. It has now gotten to the point where somebody can be on fire and somebody like Ebro not know it
I know it. Yep.
just because there's so many people. And then a nigga try to play Ebro like, ah, man, you not on this. Like that was a slight back when we were coming up because y'all, you ain't tapped in. But
Yep.
now it ain't necessarily that you ain't tapped in. It just ain't made it to my like. We don't have a problem with that, you and I. But Ebro's on a little larger scale doing a show for Apple. So I feel like this stems from somebody coming to him or continuously coming to him being like, oh, you ain't heard of this person. You ain't heard of this person. And him being frustrated because he hasn't. And then this leads to that statement, which is that's arrogant.
Yeah. It sounds out of touch. And it sounds like he woke up to that day and just wanted something to complain about. Like, give me
Right.
something to be mad at, because that's the thing that's going to get clicks. That's the thing that's going to get traction, get shared, get us talking about it. I guess. I really wish we stopped doing that shit. Like, I don't. You're not
Thanks.
really mad about that. Stop acting like you're mad. You're not. And just be grateful that when you open up your shit and refresh it on Friday, it's mad new shit that you can
There's new
pick and
music
choose
out
from,
there.
dude. Young niggas got something to listen to. Old wash niggas got something to listen to, and everybody in between. The ladies got something to listen to. What is the issue? And everybody eating. People may hate Larry Jr. eating. People may hate whoever, I don't know, Ice Spice. She eating. Everybody's
Mhm.
eating. There's enough food for everybody. What is the issue? I don't get it. Ebro's eating, talking about it. Like, dude, why are you mad, dude? You don't want nothing to
Facts.
talk about? There'd be no
That's a
show.
fact. On the Ebro note, they had this trend going on Twitter, like, what's your favorite crash out moment? Have
That
you
was
been
funny.
seeing that?
That was funny.
I ain't know he snapped on B Dot like that. Have you seen that before? I know it's an
I ain't see
old
that.
clip. Hey, he went
Was it Ebro or Elliott?
now he was going hard on B Dot because
No, I'm
B
saying
Dot
who?
tried.
Ebro was going hard on B Dot?
Oh, Ebro was going hard on B Dot because they was up there doing an interview with Hot 97, and B Dot was trying to say that all radio host or whatever took payola.
Oh, gotcha. Oh,
And
okay,
when I
okay, okay,
tell
okay.
you Ebro went off on him, bro, walked out
That's
of the
funny.
interview and some more shit. Like it was stood up over him, told him he wasn't shit without
Ah, nah, you
Elliot.
can't do that though. Nah, you
Bro,
stand up over
it
nigga.
was
You
crazy.
stand up over nigga. You
Elliot,
took it too
look, he
far.
stood up over nigga. Elliot said, what we
Uh,
standing up for? What's going I gotta send you that clip, man.
I
That
can
shit
see
was
him saying that
gold.
though.
Oh, that was gold. All right, moving on. AB Nicki Minaj. She is on one of her rants and she's calling out rappers. These rappers that are signing with white companies instead of her imprint. What do you think about this?
Do you know the name of her record label?
What's the name of it? Is it
That means
Slime something?
no, no, that's not it. I don't know it. You don't know it. People listening didn't know until right now that she even had one. Listen,
Mm,
it's called Heavy on It.
mm. Do she have any artists?
I don't know. I just learned the name 30 seconds ago. Listen, I get it. You are bringing attention to your label because apparently the artist that you do or don't have that wasn't doing it. So you ranting in classic Nicki fashion, she's known for these, is now bringing attention to the fact that you have a label. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. But she's calling out some of the female rappers that she claims is skipping out on her and signing with major labels. And they're citing JT and Ice Spice. Those are two people that are heavily rumored to be the people that she's talking about. Oh, listen, I can understand this. I shout out to my guy. He owns a company that handles finances for artists, and he sees it all the time. He will see a artist come through. Shout out to what's my boy, the Tusi. Shout out to
Mhm,
Tusi. Tusi
mhm.
came through, had a meeting, was having issues with his contract. They cleaned it up for him, pointed out this, that, and the third, pointed him in the right direction, and he said thanks, and then went to a white owned company and signed with them at the end of the day. And my man was like, damn, really? Like, okay. Fully capable of handling the job because they've got clients. Now, here's the thing with Nikki. She's her first time being a rap CEO. How well she's at it, she's good at it. What her partners look like with the business structure, we don't know. So I can't say that she's capable of taking on an Ice Spice. Ice Spice got motion. JT has motion already. She has a really bad album, but she had motion. So I don't know
Listen,
if you can go to a new boutique label and be like, okay, take me to the next level. That's a big ask. I would need receipts, structure. You got to have everything on point for me to have the motion that I got. If I'm one of them, to take a chance on an upstart boutique label, even though it's headed by Nicki Minaj. So maybe she got to get that in order, but I can understand her being sour about it.
you're not wrong in anything you just said there. But if we get back in this time machine and go back to the on deck Nostradamus predictions, so many that we've had on here,
For sure.
we've repeatedly asked, you have, I have, why isn't Nicki Minaj more friendly with female artists? Why isn't she cultivating those relationships with female? And this is before JT. This is
Facts.
before Ice Spice. This is a long time ago that we've always held that question up here on this platform as to she should be a lot more active with female artists. It seems like she's always beefing with them.
Yeah.
We can cite Cardi B or whoever else that she's beef with. And now it's coming back to bite her in the ass when bigger business ventures are right there in front of her. Now it ain't about, oh, I want to be the hottest female rapper. It's like, oh, I can help y'all, I can employ y'all. But they looking at your track record like, well, like you beef with every one of us. You got a problem or say something slick or you're commenting on Instagram and you're doing all of this stuff that you shouldn't even be doing. I say this in the group chat all the time. She's too old to even be going back and forth with most of these girls. And that ain't knocking her. Like we always shout out to contemporary rap people, but she was still at her big age going back and forth and having these little rifts and disputes. And again, I'm gonna cite Cardi because that's the biggest one. If that situation had played different, then maybe Ice Spice would sign with you.
Right.
Maybe JT would sign with you because they see that even if it is an act, they see what type of person that you are as far as helping with other careers. And I can't say that I've seen her. I may be wrong. Somebody can point it out to me, the barbs out there, but I can't say where I've seen someone say, man, Nicki Minaj really helped me with my career. I've never seen anyone say that. And that's crazy because she's been rapping for 15 plus years.
Yeah. Been hot
So
too.
that's the reason that you have that problem. That's the reason that people won't sign with you, bro. You've never helped anybody out.
Yeah.
So
Listen, she goes on the rants and she brings a lot of attention, but it seems to be kind of volatile. And I don't know if anyone wants to sign under that if they don't have to. Now you can go find somebody hungry and starving standing on the corner of 151st and Manhattan Street. They'll sign with you for sure in front of the bodega. But if you trying to bag Ice Spice, why? They skipped out on the freshman cover. Like I don't need that.
I'm in a
That
box with Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, bro.
yeah,
Like
I
I'm
don't.
not.
Why would I?
I'm
What are you talking
good. I
about?
got commercials. Yeah, like I'm already eating.
Yeah, I
Like you
mean,
said,
I'm good. I don't. You
I
got
don't need Nicki Minaj's label.
you're gonna have to put your talent scout hat on and find somebody that we ain't on yet, and
But
sign
then, it,
five or six of them, and hope two of them pop. That's it.
but then again, like we said, if she had did it the right way, all of these chicks would be signed to her because she is, to give her credit, she is the one of the most successful female rappers. Had she
Yeah.
been nicer to women, she could have been like, I'm going to show you how to get to do what I done. That's the pitch to Meg. That's the pitch to
Mhm.
Cardi and Ice Spice and Scarlip and Flo Millie and all of these ladies. Like that's the pitch. We can do this woman empowerment thing. I've done it. I've been successful at it. Come over here. Let's eat. But she ain't done it.
Yeah, yeah, and plus they don't need her. She's reaching for people that don't
And
need
they
her.
do not need her. Exactly. That
Uh,
is true.
it's on me. Ah, yes, complex with another another day, another complex list, guys. Top this time, it's the 15. I think I said top 10. My bad. 15 best Atlanta rap groups of all time. So remember, on the last list, it was the top 50 rappers. And some people were like, why did you split up Outkast? Why did you split up Goody Mob, XYZ? Well, now you got your answers because they had the group list on deck. For those wondering, real quick on the top 10, number 10 was Ghetto Mafia. That's before my time. Number nine, oh, that's dude that be on Beehive. Ah, that's what's up. I know them. Number
Hmm.
nine, Crime Mob. Number eight, Travis Porter. Where have they been at? Number seven, Chris Cross. Number six, Yin Yang Twins. Five, Rich Gang. Okay. Four, Little John and the East Side Boys. Three, Goody Mo B. Two, Migos, and one, obviously, Outkast.
Outcast.
Did they do a better job with this list versus the top 50?
Yeah, but I feel like this one easy to do though.
That's true.
Like it ain't.
It's hard.
You're not.
First of all, the top
You're
three
not
are
gonna mess up number. Yeah, like the top three are set in stone.
off
However you want
top.
to put them. Like if you want to, Outcast is like arguably one. Like you could make a case for Migos.
No, you
You can
can't.
also make a case for Goody Mob.
No, you
I
can't.
mean, you can make a case because the case for Goody Mob would be, well, we started this, and Outcast is a branch of that. So hmm. And then when Migos, this new generation, you're being generous if you're making a case. I'm not saying I'd agree with it, but
Right?
I could see a young nigga. I could see a young nigga saying Migos is the best group out of Atlanta ever. But yeah, this was a layup. This was great
Yeah.
cleanup control. This was the one to drop after that you put out the other list for the people had problems with. I don't even. I can't think of anybody that they left off. Like I
Yeah.
don't know.
I didn't know there was
Maybe P
15 groups.
I was gonna say like they did a good job getting 15 out. Maybe PSC. That would be very generous.
Yeah, it would. It would.
Um, but
That's
maybe
it.
when that's it, like
Nah, that's it. Because they got Young
that's
Bloods on here at 14, Franchise Boys, D4L. They got all the one. They got the
yeah,
ones.
this this
You, I
this
mean,
this might.
Trillville ain't on here. I mean that, but I
I mean,
mean,
who you taking off of Trillville? PA?
yeah, I don't know who PA is. That's before my. It look like that's before my time.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of this.
So I'm not familiar with them. I would go Trillville, but that's just me. That's just my generation. But I'm not mad at this. And like you said, the first three I could argue four. Lil Jon is right where he need to be. It don't really get
Facts.
spicy to number five with Rich Gang. That's kind of I'd probably put Yin Yang Twins over them. They had a lot of hits. I'd
Yeah,
probably put them.
Yin Yang should be top five.
That yeah, they probably should have
That's
switched places.
disrespectful. Yeah, it's kind of disrespectful.
Well, I will say Chris Cross, that's big. I mean, that's big too. You could have argued Chris Cross over Yin Yang Twins or Yin Yang Twins over Chris Cross. Eh,
Damn, that's
That's a
that's a
that's a
good
coin
one.
toss.
Yeah, you could go either way. You could go. I could listen to arguments for both.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
weird
you could
how
go either way
Jermaine
for
Dupri
that.
discovered. Have you heard him talk about how he discovered them though?
In the mall.
Yeah, it just always sounded weird
Yeah.
though.
Jermaine Dupri weird though. Like we seen
That's
that.
that's fair.
Did
Yeah,
you see him
nice.
talking about Kamala Harris this weekend?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He just
he,
believed
he
it.
like who comes up to kids in the in the mall and like, man,
He
y'all the
was
two freshest little niggas in here. Like what?
they was the same size. But look
What?
though, it's interesting that you say that because he get mad when a nigga come up to him in the mall and said that.
Oh yeah.
Like the nigga came up to him in the mall, I was like, oh, I would know you. Like, nah, nigga, you did this with kids.
Like that,
You're
that
an adult.
was
That is
that's
crazy.
kind of
Yeah.
weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, not I ain't trying to put no jacket on him. I'm just saying that the
Mm-mm,
story
mm-mm.
always kind of sounded weird. But did you see he had the video about why he was like, where's Rocco at on the other list? I was like, no, you got that from
Yeah, he
us.
heard us. He heard us.
Clearly.
He definitely listened to it on that.
Shout out to Jermaine Dupri. I
100%.
fuck with JD.
Appreciate it. Friend of the show. We appreciate you, buddy. All right, man. Let's get into some grimier stuff. AB Dame Dash, man. He was on Instagram or whatever social medias it was, and letting people know that the Rockefeller chain is coming with the auction of the third of the ownership of Reasonable Doubt.
Or Rockefeller.
That Yeah, of Rockefeller, excuse me. So as we all know, that's up for auction. Dame said he wants 10 million. Do
Yeah.
you think he'll get more or less for one third of Rockefeller?
This is so interesting. The auction is on the 29th. So by the time what's the day? I know it won't be out yet, but it's this week. I'm very interested to see what happens with this. He wants 10 M's, and he said anybody bids over 10 M's and wins, they'll get this the OG Rockefeller chain around his neck. And he was like, if it don't come from me, then
It
it's
ain't no
not an.
Rockefeller chain if I ain't give it to you.
Yeah, if I didn't give it to him, so I was like, damn, okay, that's Vic Mensa, Big Sean, that's a whole lot of people. But anyway, and I feel like if you got it from Jay, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't that count? If you got it from Jay or Biggs, why would that not be an official? Like, come on, Dave. But anyway, he trying to get the bag up, and now I kind of see why. At first, I thought it was just a couple of 100,000 that he owed from a lawsuit. No, sir. It has just been reported that he owes $8.7 million in unpaid taxes from '05 to 2018. 8.7 M's.
Not paying your taxes for 13 years is insane.
Dog.
I have no sympathy for that.
13,
That's
8,
inexcusable.
8.7, bro. So even if he
Dame's my
hits,
man. Dame my man
listen,
in front of the show. That's inexcusable.
friend of the show, man, I fuck with Dame, bro. Even if he gets somebody to bid 10, he ain't gonna have no change left, bro. Once he done with the taxes and the court shit, he gonna be right back where he at right today with one less Rockefeller chain. That's it. That's all gonna be the difference, dude. I hate to see this. If I was a betting man, I think it's gonna go less than 10 million. But I don't really have any science behind that. I just think people are scared to bid because Rockefeller only owns reasonable doubt. And after a couple of years, those rights revert back to Jay anyway. So why would you bid $10 million on something that you're gonna own for 4 years and then it's gonna go back to another nigga? So that's pointless. So I think it's gonna go less than 10 for that reason.
And we can do the science behind it just from fucking. I mean, we may not know the intricate details, but we have general knowledge of how business work. We watch Shark Tank shit. You're telling me that a third of a company that only owns one asset is worth $30 million? How is that possible?
And it's a rental. You're
Yeah,
renting the
first of all, yeah,
asset.
exactly. First of all, it's not in perpetuity. Like you're not
Nah.
getting this forever. You're paying 10 million to be a third of a part of something that has one asset for you to make money off of. Can you make $30 million off a reasonable doubt in 2024? Without and keep in mind, you don't have cooperating partners. You have niggas that really don't even want you to be a part of this. You just happen to have the money. So
Mhm.
unless you got a stellar business plan to sell this shit to movies or some documentary that you got planned around it, and I'm not even sure a documentary can make 30 million. I don't care if it is about Jay-Z. So, like, I just don't see how this company will be valued at $30 million. I would
Yeah.
love someone like Wendy Day or someone that really knows Ray Daniels, that really knows the music business to sit me down and be like, well, you're crazy. Like, you can make hundreds of million off of this $10 million investment. If they would have showed me that, I would be open to hearing it. But
Yeah.
as a novice, just looking at it and knowing a little bit about business, nah, no, bro, there's no way that you can make $30 million off an album that you own a third of. I can't even get song. I can't even use the songs or merch or do anything from that because I don't own the full thing. Everybody else got to sign off on it.
Yeah.
So this is more saddening behavior by Dame, man. I really wish that the road had went another way for my man. That, like again, that was my favorite person in hip hop, dude, and it just saddens me to see him doing these videos and in these positions.
Yeah, it's ugly.
It's,
And then what makes it bad though is from the outside looking in, it seems like there's no one to blame but him. But coming from him, he'll blame everyone else and will take no accountability though. It's from the outside looking in, it seems like nobody wants to work with him. And if you've seen the documentaries or if you heard stories, people talk about how it can be a challenge to work with that. It can be difficult. And it just seems like he's burning a lot of bridges. And if he just dialed it back just a little bit, like would it kill
but
you? Just dial
that's
it
the
back, man. Be more
baffling
pleasant, bro.
the baffling part about this is he knows how all of this, like he knows how these things works with the streaming stuff, putting the movies out or music, and we've seen him try these different things throughout the years since he's been away from Jay, but we've never seen any of them really just take off, other than like the
Nah,
currency situation, and even that
he
didn't
dipped on
work to
him.
his favor like we thought it would. So it just
How
it's
currency
it's
dip on you? Currency
that's
ain't said nothing negative about
yeah,
anybody's
and
life.
still fuck with you.
Yeah,
And still was like, even though it seemed like some sour shit went on, was still like, nah, Dame's my man. Where everybody else would have thrown him under the bus. It's just it's crazy to me that like the streaming thing didn't work, or like the own network didn't work. Like how is that possible?
I'm gonna tell you why. We just talked about people not wanting to sign under Nicki for being quick tempered, hot headed, whatever the case may be. Bro, the top talent not working under dude. You got to be Kanye
Mm.
West, bro. The top talent will work under Kanye West for 2 years so that they can go and be Jerry Lorenzo and make Fear God, or they could be Virgil and go sign on the Louis event. You'll deal with a nigga like that because they got power, influence, and all of that. Dame doesn't have that, so you can't be a dickhead and expect the top talent to work under you and make the best shit. Man, it's not gonna happen, bro. It's about relationships. You burning bridges. People don't want to work for They don't want to get yelled at, bro. Like they don't want to get yelled at. Nigga, I could be cold with the filmography. I could have this little series that you talking about. I could have that motherfucker right. And I do something on one day, and nigga, you come in and you roasting me from my Air Force One. Bro, nobody, niggas don't want to deal with that shit, bro.
So that goes to like that's a really good point. And the famous Jay-Z line, you build Hove and build another Hove.
Yeah, nah.
And then people are looking at it like I would for the sports fan, it's like playing for Belichick. Like, do
Yeah.
you want to put up with that?
But
But
see,
you
he had
know you're gonna
leverage.
win a Super Bowl.
That
Exact. You know you winning Super Bowls though.
that's
I know I'm finna go win a championship. So I put up with the Patriot way for a year, maybe 2 years.
yep.
With Dame is like, bro, when was your last win?
Yeah.
And as a leader, you got to take that into consideration. Even I throw Master P in there too. Like the
That's
shit that
fair.
Kodak Black and what was it, Fat Trail?
Yep.
Like the shit they were saying, like how you treat me, bro, ain't lining up to what we getting in. Like I ain't seeing the success. Like, yeah, you used to do it, but like right now you treat me kind of funny, and like it ain't no motion coming from this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it, man. Like you gotta know when to pivot, bro. And I think Dame and P are two niggas that just didn't know when to pivot and be able to continue to cultivate that type of talent around them because they just too stuck in their ways.
Yeah, they're not good recruiters, bro. They're not good
And
recruiters.
good managers. Like you're not a good coach. Like nigga, if like you can, this is the thing. Like you didn't watch the Bear, but I really wish you had because it's a great scenario. Like you can treat people like shit. You can do that if you really fucking good at what you do, and they see the benefit of you treating them like a nigga can hate your guts, but on the other side of this, if I come out the top shelf in the world,
Yeah.
it was worth it.
Yeah.
Even though I might be a little damaged, I might hate you, but nigga, I'm a beast.
Mm.
And nobody was looking at Dame and P and being like, "Oh, you made me a beast." So
Would you do business with P today? Just you. Not if you made
the question
music, not if
is,
you, but if you had a product tomorrow and P called and was like, I want to do business, you think
Jesus,
about it.
I would just
Yeah, I think about
nostalgia
it.
though. Like
All right.
I wouldn't be dismissive. It's nostalgia for me. I remember what it was like.
Yeah.
I ain't one of the young videographers or nothing that don't like just know his name is Master P. Like I seen it.
Yeah.
Like we synced it.
Yeah.
My question, the response question to you would be if you had to do business with one or the other, Dame Dash or Master P, who you doing business with?
It it will probably be P just
Mm,
because he seems easier to work with when comparatively speaking. They're equal level of idea shit right now though. Like they
yeah.
both neither one of what they throwing up against the wall is sticking very well.
Mhm.
But I think P hasn't. I can still move around in certain rooms with P. P still gets speaking engagements, and there's still lines at his book signing. And bro, Damon ain't who, bro.
What if in that condition with Dame saying he like we want to work, he's like, I'm turning the keys. Like, whatever you tell me to do, bro, I'm going to do it and try to be on my best behavior.
Then I feel like like Dame being the loud spokesperson, him being your
That's
biggest fan.
Dame.
Like it wouldn't be Dame no more, but he would make a good agent.
Facts.
He would make a good agent. Like if he spoke on your behalf to get the best deal, I'd want
Yeah,
him representing me, I think.
true.
But the we side by side and you now be my cheerleader, be my biggest fan, go speak me up and go gas me up like how all them New York niggas be doing. Irv and all them, they
Yeah.
make shit sound amazing. Go do that for me. Go make me sound amazing and get me a deal. That's one thing, but he can't do that without being abrasive and people don't want to deal. Listen, man, people don't want to work with people that they don't like if they don't absolutely have to. There's too many
Or
choices,
if it's not going to benefit them
or
very heavily.
if it's not going to benefit them greatly. Those are
Yes.
the only two. If I have to, or if there's a ring at the end of the road and I know it's a guaranteed ring, then I'll do. Outside of them two options, they're not fucking with you, bro.
Facts. Y'all
He's
let us know, man. Who would you do business with first? Dame
Ooh.
Dash or Master P? Put that in the YouTubes and the tweets and all that good shit.
Here's another mogul, man. Uncle Luke down in Miami from the famous Two Life crew. He took to social media, had a little mini rant, and said, "Hey, man, all you new wave female rappers that are out there, twerking, that are out there being nasty with the lyrics, all of y'all owe me a check." He said, "Look, the females are winning. Male rap is on some bullshit right now. I'm still waiting for these girls to send me an effing check. I need a check from Ice Spice. I need a check from Sexy Red, etc., etc." Let me ask you, are we watching Two Life Crew's influence on the new wave of females? Does he have a point?
Yeah, I fuck with Luke on this, man. He right. Like this, they tried to run him off the scene for doing the shit that's normal now that we hear on the radio, and it's like, oh, that's just how it is. My put on, I'll say the name of it later, but there was an insert in to put on. It's a podcast, and this lady was talking about Pac, and she was talking about how degrading he was to women and how vulgar he was with his lyrics and just the way that he would talk about women and sexual acts. And then they played a clip. And I was like, well, nigga, that's par for the course today. It seems like it seems like either it wasn't that bad or this is the way to do it. But all of that I say to say Luke is right. Yes, these people were being ostracized for acting this way. Two Live Crew, Tupac Shakur. You can name there's a long list, a laundry list of people who these things affected, and now it's normal. And I'm not knocking the ladies, like get your bag, do what you want to do. Like I don't give a fuck how you talk. If you're making your money, I don't have children or daughters that it's gonna ruin. But it's some nigga who does, may. But yeah, Luke is right, man. Luke is absolutely right. He started this trend.
Luke is half right.
Hmm.
The album that put him on the map was as nasty as they want to be. It came out in 1989.
Mhm.
Everybody he named wasn't even a thought of yet in 1989. So let's not act like they saw you and then was like, "Yo, I'm finna emulate that."
He
No,
made it
they
cool. They ain't emulating it though. Like that's his lane though.
it was his lane 40 years ago. Yes, this is true. Again, way before any Ice Spice existed. Ice Spice is twerking because Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion twerked. Let's be extremely clear.
Who
Megan Thee
twerked
Stallion
because
and Cardi B
Nikki
twerked
twerked.
because Nicki twerked. And
Who
Nicki
twerked
twerked,
because Kim twerked.
and that's it. That's where it
Who
ends.
twerked because
No,
she seen Two Live
no,
Crew, nigga.
no.
Yes.
There is nothing
That's
too live crew about Little Kim. I disagree completely.
shit.
I
That
disagree.
whole goddamn the album coming, the famous album with the leopard print and her doing like
The
that's Two Live
hardcore,
Crew motivated. Yeah, that's Two
eh,
Live Crew, nigga.
a little bit, a little bit.
There was there was a rumor that Little Kim fainted on stage because she had to
Oh
get
yeah, I remember
come
that.
from her stomach. That's Two Live Crew, nigga. That's Two Live Crew
No,
roots
that's a
right
first. That's a
there.
wild rumor. That's a wild rumor
Hey, they used to
today,
get
much
some
less in
wild
the
shit off
90s.
today. I mean, they used to get some wild shit off back when there wasn't no internet and stuff. That was
Ooh,
like we thought that was true.
facts. Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
major urban legend. But
shit.
what I'm saying is the same way that Rakim could say, "Oh, YBN Corday owes me a
He's
check."
right. He's right though.
Man, it'd be a small check.
Rakim,
Listen,
Rakim changed the way that niggas rapped.
you
Like
know
they
when you
rap
get
like that cause him.
listen, you get this little bullshit settlement check from Singular Wireless from 17 years ago, and it's $3.21 after it's bust down because it's broke down between the 50 million niggas that had it. That's what the check would look like, Luke. Do you want the $3.14 check? Okay, cool, you can get that. That's the he get the settlement check from Bank of America for the overdraft fees that they charge millions of niggas, dude. He get the 20
That
something dollar and 21 cent check, bro. You happy now?
that's fair. Maybe he worded it wrong. Maybe he should say, I'm the pioneer of this shit.
That's
I don't need
fair.
a check, but I am like, I remember the shit that was given to me for what I was doing. And now I look up and this shit is normal.
That's
Like
cool.
somebody got to say my name somewhere around here for this.
It won't be none of them. They don't know you.
Now, they don't even know Luke.
Yeah, they
They
don't
they
know
have no
you.
idea who Luke is.
They don't know who you are, big dog. With all due respect, you're a legend in I get it, but you're 63, bro. You're
Yeah,
you're screaming down
man.
at people who are in their early 20s, bro. You're
Like who's
triple their
Umar?
age, fam.
Who granddad is that, bro?
That's what
Talking shit. Like, come
how do he
on,
know
man.
how to work Instagram, dude? Somebody get that
Oh,
granddaddy off Instagram.
that's funny as shit.
Granddaddy
All right,
level.
man. Before we get into these wins and these losses, AB, we got a couple more quick hits. One being your man's Dr. Umar. I almost took credit for him, but he losing me. He's losing me ever so swiftly. Dr. Umar was sitting down with Mouse Jones. Shout out to him and that podcast that they do. And he challenged Mouse. He said to Mouse that hip hop has been more detrimental to black people over the past 50 years than it has been helpful. What would you say to that if you had him on your platform, AB?
Yeah, I disagree. And he was not only was he moving the goalpost, but he shrunk the goalpost. Like he shrunk the goalpost in half and had it on the damn slider. Like, bro, you can't say, man, name me and then put in like a very specific thing that hip hop has done. So name me the grocery store in middle America in a hood that's under 20,000 population that sells fresh organic vegetables that a rapper has done. Like, bro, like fam, like come on, bro. Like stop. This nigga went uber specific. Fam, who you're not in charge of what niggas can do and then say like, oh, okay, that's acceptable or not. I get it. You're building a school that we still haven't seen yet, and you're like, where are the rappers with schools? Puff had one, but you'll say that doesn't count because you're not talking about charter schools. You're talking about this type of school. You're like, bro, like you're moving the goalpost and you're shrinking it, bro. That's my only issue. I get that he says people should be doing more. That's fair. Again, this is a lot easier of a message to accept if you were standing in front of your school with a ribbon, cutting that motherfucker open, and kids was running in on their first day of school. You'd have much something more to stand on if you were giving that speech there. But until then, you just look like a hypocrite yelling this shit. The nigga was trying to have a heart attack, bro. I thought I was like, yo, I don't want this nigga was sweating, veins popping out his dashiki.
That's normal, Dr. Umar.
Nah, he was on 10. He was on 10. And what was funny, because Mouse was calm as hell, like, bro, are you okay? Relax. So I understand if you want to put together some type of syllabus or some type of game plan that if a rapper had a spare or a rapper or rappers had a spare couple of M's, this is how they could build the grocery store. This is how they could build the school. If you want to do that and get with a couple niggas, and if they turn you down, then you yell, then scream, air them out. Then that's one thing. But bro, don't go uber specific and tell me that rappers aren't doing what you would do if you were them when you're not doing what you said that you would do. We still waiting on the
And you,
school.
you,
Yeah, and you.
you,
Like, bro,
you,
like,
nigga.
bro,
You got the information and can't do it.
I don't want to
Like,
hear that.
so I want to be very clear in my when I say this because I do like Dr. Umi.
I do too.
I do think that the stuff that he talks about is important, and I do think I think that there is some relevance to what he's saying because hip hop has been sort of detrimental in areas to the black community. Like he said, something really captivating there when he was talking about we got a couple generation of men who grew up wanting to be drug dealers and gangsters, and that was because of the music, and I can relate to that. Like I can relate to listening to rap then and not listening to it as much now, and how my thinking has changed totally.
Mm-hmm.
But for Dr. Umar, stop telling me what niggas don't do or won't do. I'm tired of hearing that from you, bro. Instead, start showing me the niggas that you've convinced to do the things that you feel like are acceptable, as you were saying. Write up the syllabus. Like fucking Ice Cube wrote up his fucking whatever it is may be. Nobody may have listened to it, and he may have been trying to sell it to the wrong people, but at least he did that. What I keep seeing from Dr. Umar is, oh, nigga, I would be doing it this way if I had that much money. Stop worrying about how much money I got, nigga. Don't come telling me what you would do with my money. Niggas do not want to hear that.
Yeah, no.
Like what Dr. Umar is lacking in, because he's a very intelligent, very driven, speaks well, articulate brother, he's not a good salesman. You're familiar with The Sopranos as a key scene. My man Junior Soprano was talking about Richie. and they were talking about whacking Tony, and he went to go visit Richie, and he tried to get Richie tried to convince Junior of it, and Junior just didn't go with him. He went with Tony, and when somebody asked Junior, he was like, he couldn't sell it. He couldn't sell it in the room. I was right there in the room. He had the leverage he needed, but the nigga still couldn't convince me. That's Dr. Umar right now. You got all the stuff that you need. You getting on all these platforms. You're getting paid for these appearances. People do trust you in a certain sense of the word when it comes to what you're an expert in, and that's children's education or whatever it may be. But once you start hating on niggas in hip hop and saying, "Oh, y'all niggas have been detrimental. What have you done for the black community?" What the fuck does that even mean? That's a loaded question. Nigga, what has dance hall done for the Caribbean community? What has heavy metal done for the goth community? What has
Mhm.
country done for rednecks? Do they go build farms and shit for poor rednecks? Like, I don't get it. Why is hip hop on? Why are we on the hook for being like, okay, we got to take care of all the black people because we made it in rapping? I ain't heard a nigga like niggas don't ask Garth Brooks what he's done for white people like they ask Jay-Z what he's done for black people. So I think this is a very, very disingenuous question to get clickbait, as we were talking about earlier with one of the other topics. Like this is disingenuous, and he needs to stay far away from this and start focusing on things that will build people up and make them want to work with him versus doing all of this bullshit and being so divisive that niggas are scared to work with him. Someone close to him needs to tell him that this is not helping, bro. Like all of
Yeah.
that extremist, divisive ass shit that you be saying, yeah, it may get you shared around on social media, but this is the reason why niggas is not reaching out to you. This is the reason why niggas is not cutting you checks because you say shit like this. And I wish this, if he was on this platform, that's what I would tell him. That's what Mouse should tell him. Like, bro, you a dope dude. Like, you need the stuff that you talking about. It's fire. But you need to, one, hire a salesman to sell this shit where you ain't got to talk to people, or you need to do better at selling because you're doing a terrible job right now, nigga. If you was doing good at this, the school would be built. We will be working on Dr. Umar's school number 2. Because it's a lot of niggas out there that open schools that ain't having a problem. Jalen Rose. I think
Yep.
Immortal Technique, Puff. Like niggas is opening schools. B, don't tell me that shit's impossible. Like, yeah,
I
this
agree.
this is wild.
I was looking at some of the Twitter comments. Someone said, I gotta agree with Umar, but I do have a counter question. Was hip hop supposed to do anything but be an outlet for entertainment? In my opinion, I look at hip hop as someone as a hobby for entertainment, for enjoyment, similar to sports, gaming, etc. Nothing more, nothing less. Which kind of speaks to kind of what you're saying is I'm not sure what the expectation is and why it's on rappers and not on Ben Affleck. I don't know. I don't know like what the I, for some reason, and I do understand it. I understand it because we're behind, air quote. We know why we're behind, and so when people see successful black people, the thought is that you're supposed to turn around and grab and uplift the community so that we can catch up. I understand the thought behind it. And in certain instances, I get it, but I don't expect that from Lil Durk. I don't expect that from anyone. To expect it, I think is a mistake. If someone does it, cool. But just like any of these other corporations, and people do this stuff, and they do the charities, and we all know those are tax breaks. But it's still making change. Someone's still eating the plate. Someone's still putting on the clothes. It's still a thing that they don't necessarily have to do. But at the end of the day, they're incentivized to do it. So that's why people do it. Again, outside of going on tour and yelling in the microphones, yelling, sweating through his dashiki,
That's crazy.
people are going to look at you like, bro, what grocery store have you built? And he's going to say, I ain't got the money that little baby got. And it's like, bro, that's a cop out, bro. That's a cop
How
out.
you know how much money Lil Baby got?
That's number one. And to make change, you can still build some shit. You can still, bro, you can go to the grocery store tomorrow and it could be a lady there that may have a couple of kids and you can take care of her order. That's making change on a small scale, but still it's changed nonetheless to fit the scale that you're on. Like niggas ain't telling you to create the new Kroger. You know what I'm saying? So why you're asking little baby to do that is interesting, but that's another story. I just don't have expectations. I don't look at them the same way that apparently other people do. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. It's just that I just don't understand why. I just don't. I don't look at Jay and go, man, that's dope. I bought your CD, bro. Why you ain't built the Jay Z school of in what? I don't, huh? Bro, I listen to you for these 16s, dude. Like, if you do anything on top of this, cool. But I just don't see it that way. I get it. And it's cool that niggas start foundations and they do shit. And if you go look at a lot of people's history, there's a lot of philanthropical work that they do and all that's cool. It doesn't really get talked about that much. Blah, 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 blah. But man, I'm the last nigga finna count somebody's pockets, though. That is weird.
Facts. And to put a bow on it, it's like the stuff that you and I learned at this age versus what we knew back in the day. Nobody told me that I could or should be doing that. Like nobody pulled me to the side and say you should be doing this for your retirement. This should be going in your IRAs. Like this should be going like you should be saving this. Like I didn't know that. And of course, it seems like common sense to a nigga that does know that, like Dr. Umar, but I'm not going to do it if I don't know it and all I hear you doing is shitting on me and
Yep.
telling me how to spend my money, bro. Again, you brought up the best point. If you want this shit to happen, nigga, one, learn how to sell it better. Two, come up with the fucking plan.
Yeah. If you
Like
got
we've
all the
been told that a
answers,
lot of times, if you got the answers, bro, write that shit down, put that shit out, and let niggas read it, and then they get to make their own decisions, or you can sway them from there. But just telling me that the shit don't happen and because niggas is ignorant and niggas don't want to do it, I don't believe that. I have more faith in my people than that. I think that niggas do want to help. And if there was a reasonable voice giving them guidance on how to help, then they would do it. But
yep.
instead, they get niggas like Dr. Umar, who they feel like is chastising them for having not already done something. And that's bullshit.
I don't know if you remember real quick the J. Cole Snow on the Bluff. This was his argument against No Name.
Yeah.
I'm about to tell you, she strikes me as someone blessed enough to grow up in a conscious environment, a perspective and awareness of the system and unfairness that it afflicts people. And the frustration that fills her words seem to come from the fact that most people don't see. But just because you woke and I'm not, that shit ain't no reason to talk like you're better than me. How are you going to lead when you're attacking the very same niggas that really do need the shit that you're saying? Instead of conveying you holier, come get us up to speed.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And that
Perfect.
song was fire. So I just listened to that the other day. I was like, this nigga's ripping
Perfect.
this shit.
Perfect. Nigga made her stop rapping off of that. She ain't rap since. Oh, that's one W. All right. What we got next?
Next up, man, Juvie, your man, made a bold proclamation. He's been on a media tour. Him and Manny Fresh, super dope to see them out here. He was on a show called Hood Clips, and he said some of these cats up north they got their own definition of what they call hip hop, and Southern hip hop just doesn't fit the bill at certain points. He said, but I'm gonna be honest, it's niggas that can rap their ass off, but they can't make a hit. Go check my numbers, nigga. 1998, 400 degrees. Man, listen, who sold the most? I think that's what counts. Let's see who sold the most records on each solo album. Pick your best Nas album and pick your best J album. I'm going to take
Mm.
400 Degrees and you tell me who sold the most on their solo album. Does Juvenile have a point? Do numbers really mean as much as he is saying they do?
In today's hip hop, yes. So he's leaning into that. So I get what he's saying. But when he like numbers really didn't matter when he's trying to make this comparison. But as a Southern hip hop aficionado, I fucking loved this because I sent a text out the other day that people had rap. Chris, shout out my guy Chris Platty. He had ranked he had ranked Drake, Cole, and Kendrick's album, their whole discography.
Mm-hmm.
And, and just like it didn't matter who did what this, just 1 to 30, just whoever album was best, and you rank it from that way. If you do that with Jay-Z, Nas, and Juvenile's Top's album, I would go Blueprint and 400 Degrees would be second for me.
That's cap.
I'm not a big boom. Nas has
Cap.
a better album than 400 Degrees.
No, Jay has four better than 400 Degrees. Reasonable
I was
doubt better
trying
than
not to
400 Degrees.
I was trying not to be Jay biased, but yes, Reasonable Doubt and Black Album are better than
Hey, but
400
yeah,
Degrees. It's right there with American Gangster.
that's fair. I'll take that though.
But Nas would be like fifth before you started even mentioning his first album. A lot of people will criticize me because I know what people think about that first album. I don't fuck with Illmatic, but I get it. I get it. I understand the people that do
Yeah.
love it. Why y'all love it? It's fine, but it's not better than 400 Degrees. It's not better than that. I'm sorry. Like, you can take that shit somewhere else, nigga. First of all, I only got 13 songs. 400 Degrees is 1 through 22.
Mm.
Every song, even the skits, banging. So yeah, I see what Juvenile is saying. I wouldn't lean into the sales part of it because that really don't matter. In this interview, he was talking about how Southern MCs are not respected even with their flow. I would lean more into that because he's right. Juvie was rapping like Juvie was that nigga.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, a lot of people may not remember that when they see him getting thrown off a Southwest flight. But you, at one point in time, he was the biggest rapper in the world. Jay-Z was calling him to do remixes. So I just I understand this point, and I think that 400 Degrees it's up there with any album you want to bring to it.
See, here's the thing. He used numbers, and he's right. He said numbers don't lie, and he's correct. So let's look at the numbers, shall we? Juvenile's album is at 4 million copies in the US alone. We ain't talking worldwide. Hard Knock Life is at 6.
Jay's high selling album.
What's higher? 4 or 6, bro? Like, let's be honest.
Okay, that's just one though. Do Nas got a 4 million album?
Black Album is at 4 as well.
Okay,
Nas does not. His highest is 3.
what was that? Illmatic or Stillmatic?
It was written.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's If I Ruled the World, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
well, you're
but
right.
Watch the Throne is also at 5.
We
So
ain't counting that. That don't count. Stop. Don't even try. Don't even try to slide that bullshit in there, nigga. Not because it's a bad album, because we know why that sold 5 million.
yeah, because Jay
Don't even
Z was on that month.
know
Listen, man,
because Kanye West was on that
I
motherfucker
fuck
getting
with
cleaned up.
Juvenile. I fuck with Juvenile. I love that they on the press run right now. That's super dope. This is great. I was a fan, just like everybody else was back in the day. The album's a classic. There's no denying that. Let's just leave it
You
at.
was
Let's
kind of a
just
hater, bro.
no. Just let's
I
just
knew you back then. You was a hater. You was a
at
no
400
limit.
degrees.
You was a no
Oh,
limit nigga though.
I
Your
was.
allegiances stood with no limit. Let's
I
be
didn't want to
clear.
admit that it was a classic.
Everybody, everybody had made the transition from no limit to Cash Money, and you were still holding on buying
Facts.
Blood Raw CDs. You
Facts.
were doing that. So there is a
Full
bias there.
blooded, man. His name was Full
Blood
Blooded.
Raw, Blood, whatever the nigga name was, man. It don't even deserve to be gotten right on here. Like, it's better getting that name wrong on this platform.
But Juvie, listen, man, talk your shit. And he's got a point. And this is where, because people feel like they're being overlooked or they're underrated or they're underappreciated. So sometimes you got to talk your shit. And I'm not mad at that. And plus, he got to spin the narrative because he dropped the ball on that top back beat, not getting that. So spin the story
True.
back around in your favor and talk
That's
about
true.
how many numbers you did and how hot you was. These are facts. There's no denying that. I fuck with the G code after that. I fuck with Soldier
G
Rags.
Code was
Soldier
banging,
Rags is
and Soldier Rags
banging.
was banging.
G code is banging. 400 Degrees is banging. Like, he was on a nice 3. That's a nice 3 album run right there without question. But when we talking numbers, man, you got to at least get it right though, man, nigga. Come on,
So
man.
you, just to be clear though, you have 400 Degrees as fourth best album out of all three of those guys. You're saying Blueprint, Reasonable Doubt, Black Album, 400 Degrees. Then It Was Written.
I don't know. American Gangster might be right. I like American Gangster almost
You
more
got
than a lot
American
of
Gangster
Nas
over It
albums.
Was Written.
Maybe.
Damn, that's crazy.
I love American Gangster though. That's
What
tricky,
what
man.
what would your first Nas album come in at, and what would it be?
Probably Life is Good.
Jesus Christ, that's
Probably Life is
disrespect.
Good.
And what would that be like? Because Life Is Good ain't better than Life Is Good might not be better than Volume One if we keeping it a
Man, come
buck.
on, man.
If we keeping it a stack, like Life Is Good might be worse than Volume One
That's crap. That's a tricky
and
catalog.
444 and 444.
See, here's the thing though. If we going from top to bottom catalogs, the last 10 slots will be Juvenile's last 10 albums. That's the problem.
Yeah,
That's where
we
the
ain't talking
art
about them though. But we ain't talking about them. Dog.
you
No,
talking
we
all this
talking.
one, two,
Okay,
three.
okay. Let me ask you this: what's your highest rated Nas album? Life Is Good is your top Nas album?
It's between Life is Good. It was written, and I like Illmatic though. Illmatic doesn't bother me, and it's only 10 songs, by the way.
Nigga,
So it's even
10
shorter
songs of
than
crap.
yeah.
10 songs of crap. But here's
No,
another thing to what you said too, though. Nas washing them niggas with the latest, like roll, like if he put them
that's
Hit
fair.
Boy projects in there, he gonna have a little run where you got a lot of Nas before you get another J or Juvie
Because
album.
all of them are better than Magna
Yeah,
Carta,
yeah,
Blueprint
yeah.
3. They better than that
Blueprint,
shit.
yeah, yeah, all of that shit. Facts.
Uh,
That's a good little question though.
for sure, for sure. What's next?
All right, man. Before we get into wins and losses, AB, the last one, Whack 100 switches his opinion. At first, he came out hating a little bit, some would say, on Nipsey. He now says he's reviewed the numbers, what new numbers that he has, but he reviewed the numbers. It says Nipsey's impact is up 500%. I'm not sure what he was looking at or what that entails, but he now says that Nip is a musical legend. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, he said 5,000% when it comes to music and
5,000%.
merch. Then he said a TV series and a movie that has yet to drop will drive the numbers up even more. I now call him a musical legend, bro. People have been saying this since the day that he passed away, March 31st, 2019. We've been saying this since then. He just didn't see it. Now, I'd rather him say, I'll keep it a buck. I was wrong. I didn't see this. Don't say, okay, I reviewed the tape. And you know what? Since the victory lap shirts are doing well, the Crenshaw shirts are doing well, I'll go ahead and no, no, not since any of that. It was already the case, bro. That was already the case. You just didn't see it. You had the blinders on for whatever reason, and now you want to backtrack and stop, bro. He was a legend already. He's been that. The impact was immeasurable. He was building. You want to talk about niggas that was doing shit? He was building the STEM center out there in LA. So they go. Where's Umar at? He had the STEM
Teaching
center
niggas up, yeah.
built and
Yeah.
functional. Oh, but that
Yeah.
don't count because it's not a. All right, man. That's all nigga would
Buy-
say, bro. But anyway, so no,
Buying
he's a
brick and
legend.
mortars in his neighborhood, giving people jobs,
Bingo.
yeah, all of that shit. Like
So
that's one person that you could have named. And I would have dared Dr. Umar to say something bad about that. Yeah, Wack is he's insane. Like he expects us to just buy all of the bullshit that he puts out because he was lucky and managed his game and Takashi 6ix9ine. If
yep.
that's luck, even with Takashi. Like, bro, you were wrong. Like you said, AB, come out and just say, like, you know what? Like, Nick, I promise you, Wack would be a lot more appealing to niggas if he was able to say, man, damn, man, I was wrong on this one. Yeah, I
Facts.
mean, like y'all was reading me on it. I went and did the tape, man. I didn't know. I didn't realize it. But it goes back to like what we were saying about Ebro and niggas being out of touch, and you thinking that what you say and what you know, and now you get into this slippery slope of I feel disrespected because I'm supposed to know this. It's my fucking job, and I don't. Nigga, you were supposed to know how much of a musical legend was way back when niggas was trying to tell you was wrong for saying that he wasn't, because that's your job. You're a
Yep.
music manager. Like you looking at the numbers now, what made it change? Ain't no recent Nipsey spiking, nothing. Ain't a verse hasn't dropped. I seen Black Sam do an interview. Like,
And
did that make it go?
the
I
statue,
seen the wax figure at
yeah,
EYL, but this
that
he
ain't
said this
gotten
before that. Yeah,
yeah.
like nigga, did that make it go up 5,000? Did Black Sam telling what happened in the last moments make it go up 5,000%? Like, stop it, bro. Like you were wrong, and you should be able to say I was wrong. Nip is that nigga, musical legend, RIP. We love him. Like, nigga,
Yeah.
that's all you should be saying about Nip. So,
Facts. He late to the party, man. Let's get to these wins and
facts.
losses before we get ghosts, man. First up, another rapper who's not doing anything for anyone. Gunna has he's helping Atlanta families with a $500,000 guaranteed income initiative. This will help approximately 3 dozen families in the Atlanta area with a check every month for a year as a part of his initiative. The zip code is for 30349 in the city of South Fulton. They're getting a monthly stipend of $1,000 for 12 months.
Mm.
Again, somebody not doing anything for their hometown or for the black community, and they rap. This is obviously
This
a
is
W. This is not even a question.
Yeah, big dog W. This is amazing. You're talking about a nigga who's persevering through bullshit stereotypes, bullshit innuendos of what you should and shouldn't be as a rapper, or beating court cases and being able to get back out here and make money and just like not even like this nigga ain't missed a fucking beat.
Nah,
Two
man.
banging albums.
Yep.
This, all the stuff that's been going on with the fashion deals. Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't listen to Gunna at all. I want to be clear. But I would be a hater to say that everything that's happened for this nigga since they alleged quote unquote said he snitched, he been up. He's
A-
been up, and I'm fucking with it.
And remember, a couple of years ago, even before he got locked up, he had the grocery store in the school.
Hmm.
In the
Yep,
middle,
I
it
remember
was
that.
free.
But you could just go, yeah, you go get the whatever you need for breakfast and all this. I remember that.
Hey, man,
Like, come on, man. Get Dr. Umar on the goddamn phone,
hey,
man.
what he telling? Bro? This nigga Gunner is winning. This nigga in shape. Nigga look younger.
I forgot,
Bro,
yeah.
like,
Forgot about that. Lost the weight. Ain't the little fat dude
he
no
don't be
more. Like, come
fidgeting and
on,
shit no
man.
more in interviews and shit too.
They might have cloned him. That might be the clone shit that they.
Yeah, that might be a clone for sure.
Hey man, shout out to
Um,
no, I don't want to. I don't want to put that out there and take away from what he doing though.
nah, you
No,
right. We
that
fuck
I
around.
fuck with it. Yeah, I fuck with it.
Next up, man, WRL the baby just dropped a new record. It's a diss track aimed at his baby mama, who is Danny Lee, the singer, aimed at her brother. So win or loss, man, because he lost the lawsuit case.
I'm
Uh,
gonna make this quick. This is an L. I just want to know: are you ready to admit that it's over for your man's?
yeah, it might be a wrap. Might be
So
a wrap. It might be a wrap, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
if nigga
I
made
ain't
a
gonna lie.
diss tape about Danny Lee, brother, bro. What are we talking about?
Yeah,
And she just got arrested for a hit and run, I
I
think, in
seen
Miami.
that. I
He
seen
said, "Do you
that.
know why?" Danny Lee. Would you know who Danny Lee was if you seen her in person?
Nah, she'd have to be like in full, like,
Danny Lee form.
yeah, she'd have to be like in superstar garb, and I'd be like, damn, she must sing. But I still probably wouldn't know though.
Her asking the police, "Do you know who I am? I'm a celebrity. You can't arrest me," is insane.
She would just lit.
God.
She would
Yeah, she
lit.
was definitely. God,
And
that's
this is for that
crazy.
bowling alley fight a couple years ago, by the way, for those who
Yeah,
remember that. Niggas was slipping and sliding on the little the lanes and shit.
facts. And they got 4 million for that. That's crazy.
I know it was final. Are we sure that's
See
final?
what?
Damn.
I thought that was the verdict. Like they've been at trial. I thought that was the decision. You got to pay him $4 million. That's why he mad.
Damn. I ain't gonna lie, I might put out a diss track too. I ain't gonna lie.
Nigga, nigga
Last but not
retired.
least,
Nigga. I'm
Megan Thee
making my
Stallion.
last album. Nigga. Buy my last album, nigga.
Megan Thee Stallion can add hostess to her long list of accomplishments. She's hosting the VMAs, man. Win or loss.
This is a W. Nicki Minaj did this, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think she hosted the VMAs. We looked at the numbers not too long ago of the top selling female artists. She was second. This makes sense as far as her ascension to superstardom. The trial kind of threw it off a little bit, but it did kind of help as well because more people knew her name. Do some salacious shit going on. But she's trending in the right direction, man. Like she's not canceling shows due to low attendance. She's not complaining that people aren't signing her label. She's just selling out tours and rocking the DNC. Well, not the DNC, but Democratic appearances with the soon to be president, hopefully. So yeah, like she's trending in the right direction. This is a W.
Yeah, I mean, hey, she's done like SNL, if I'm not mistaken. So, her host game should be on point. I don't know if it's enough to make me check it out, but actually, that's Megan Thee Stallion. I might tap in for a little bit because it's her.
Oh, I'm
So yeah, it's a
definitely looking. I
W.
want to see what she got on. All that.
Yeah, all that. I
Absolutely.
need all that.
All that.
Um, on deck of the week, man, we're going to YouTube. Shout out to D Free the Kid. He said 3 weeks ago, I would have told you Larry June was just Dom Kennedy with better beat selection. But something about this new tape hooked me. I blew one of my speakers playing that real talk.
I hear you.
I see you, boy. Shout out to D Free the Kid. They double back on that Larry June though. It's better than we said. I'm gonna be honest. Better than we said.
I will
That's
do
all I'm
that.
gonna say.
You're right though, because I
Hey, man.
listened to it again and had to do a review. Again, I did another review for it. You was right. I had to listen to it again, but yeah, I agree with that.
What you got for put on, man?
Two put-ons. One, I'm not sure if I've said this before. I know I've mentioned this podcast before, but not specifically this season. If you're old like us and you remember this, there's a podcast called Slow Burn. And in season 3 of Slow Burn, they go into the death of Tupac Shakur. And they start with the shooting at Quad Studios. I'm on the East versus West Coast, like episode 5. Now it's 8 episodes. And it's good. It may not be no new information for people that know it like us, but it's still good hearing it. They're interviewing people that was at Quad Studios when he got shot, and they're going from that whole time frame of what that turned into, and then Tupac dying, getting shot the second time, and just the whole timeline of events, him being in jail, the beef with Puff and them going to see him. And it's really interesting if you're still into that story. I am, and I thought it was dope. The podcast is called Slow Burn. It's season 3 about Tupac. And then in TV on MGM Plus, there is a show starring Forrest Whitaker called Emperor on Ocean Park. Super solid. I'm on episode 3 and I have no complaints. It ain't a prestige show per se. It's like probably a level above Power,
Okay.
but it's watchable. It's good. Like it's affluent black people. I always love seeing black people in different lights. He a judge, but he's a far right like black judge. His family's rich. It's good, man. So Emperor on Ocean Park and Slow Burn are my put-ons.
I ain't mad at that, man. I have two. I have a put on and a put off. I'm gonna start with the music. Put on 38 Special, Mother and Gun, 10 for 10, 10-piece all flats, extra crispy. This is exactly what I needed for the fall. Hoodie season is upon us, or at least it's on the way. I fuck with 38 Special. He's super dope. So another one. All that little camp up there, just constantly putting out 1 or 2 EPs a year, and they do exactly what they supposed to do. This is no different. I would definitely check that out. My put off is the Untold documentary on Steve McNair.
You know, like
Uh,
that.
the fact that it's called Untold and they literally told me everything I've already fucking seen and heard is ironic as shit.
I didn't
It's
remember dude at the end though.
cool.
The nigga that they was talking to, it was his gun.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think
yeah,
I
yeah.
remembered that.
The
I didn't
Laverne
remember that.
shit. I've heard that. The
He's
podcast covered all that shit, dude.
yeah. I need to go back and listen to that podcast.
That podcast was fire. Now the
That-
podcast,
yeah,
fire.
they
Netflix
left you
shit,
hanging.
mid.
Introducing dude with like 5 minutes left to go in it was some slaw.
Yeah, that was stupid. That was
Yeah,
stupid, bro. But the only thing I will say, if you don't know the story, okay,
it would,
cool, then sure. But if you've already seen the Dateline, you already listened to the podcast, and you Googled it before, bro, this didn't do nothing. Jeff
something
Fisher,
was missing. It felt like something was missing from this.
but I will say the
Needed another
spin
part.
with using Jeff Fisher to tell the story of how they came to Nashville and then and they drafted McNair and how that was cool. I did like that portion of it, but it wasn't nothing new, man. Like literally, there wasn't one thing on here that I didn't already know. I'm not bullshit.
You think dude did it?
No, I think Al did. I think it's pretty cut and dry. I just think they needed to get some
How
shit
do
out
you
the
ex-
house.
How would you explain all of the like calls and it being his gun and shit?
He sold it
You
to
think
her.
she did it? But he was calling her a couple minutes like before. Like he called her 30 times, bro.
I don't remember that though. It wasn't 30.
They
bro.
said that at the end of that. Called her
I
like
don't
30 times.
He was trying to get something, bro. And he's trying to get paid or something. 30 is a stretch.
That looked like a nigga that recorded at your studio too.
That's hilarious. He might have been. God damn. He might have been. You can listen.
That was recorded at your
You can
studio.
pull some fishy shit from a lot of stuff. Things are usually not just black and white. There's always like, but what about him? Yeah, okay, I could do that, but it's a reach. I think it's pretty clear, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's pretty clear.
I don't think so. I think that nigga had something to do with it. I think he liked her. He was jealous.
He was smashing though.
Or either he was trying. I think he might have been trying to rob me too, and she was
I
cool.
can see that. I can see that.
Nashville, like that type of nigga right there from the Ville. That's some shit that he would have been on. We gonna rob McNair. I'm gonna hit you up like nigga, and then it went wrong, and he had to shoot both of them. He got up out of there.
There will be evidence of that though, somewhere. Footprints, fingerprints, the shell cases was all in there,
This
bro.
ain't CSI, nigga. They ain't doing
Nigga, it
like
should be. What the fuck? What are these niggas getting paid for, dude? The fuck?
didn't
Where are
give
my
a
tax
fuck.
dollars going in, dude?
They didn't give two fucks like when that nigga was found in there dead. So I feel like they alluded a lot to in the series that the investigation was just like kind of lackadaisical. So
Yeah.
I could see him pulling that off, bro.
Man, look at
Especially how
this,
he
bro.
was acting. That's true. That is true. I'm shooting him a lot of bail.
You think this nigga the Joker, nigga? Like he's just the
This
mastermind.
nigga ghost off power. This nigga.
You got this
Like
nigga
gas station
mastermind,
t-shirts.
dude. There's no fucking way. Hey man, y'all let us know, man. Who killed Steve McNair, man? Let us know in the comments. Rest in
shit.
peace, McNair, though. Anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, that's it, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us. We out.
Yes, sir.